New Zealand courts rules voting age of 18 is discriminatory. Indonesia 5.6 quake kills over 160. Taylor Swift dominates American Music Awards. Iran's captain speaks out over conditions in Iran. Singapore wants to sell the world on cell-cultured seafood. Crypto will soon threaten global financial stability. Inflation has shoppers choosing chicken over turkey. World's top 10 most Metaverse-ready countries.
Hello, I'm Jolie. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It is Tuesday, November 2nd, and here are your top stories. New Zealand's Supreme Court ruled on Monday that the current country's voting age of 18 was discriminatory, forcing Parliament to discuss whether it should be lowered. The case, which has been going through the courts since 2020, was brought by advocacy group Make It 16, which wants the age lowered to include 16 and 17 years old. The Supreme Court found that the current voting age of 18 was inconsistent with the country's Bill of Rights, which gives people a right to be free from age discrimination when they have reached 16.
The voting age is the right thing to do. We're just so relieved and excited that the Supreme Court agrees with us.
Only a handful of countries, including Brazil, Cuba, Austria, and Malta, have voting age of 16 and up. However, many argue that young people should have a say on long-term democratic decisions, given they will have to live with the consequences. Prominent UK academic professor David Runciman had argued that the voting age should be lowered to 6, saying aging population meant young people were now massively outnumbered, creating a democratic crisis and an inbuilt bias against government that planned for the future.
A powerful 5.6 magnitude earthquake killed more than 160 people in Indonesia's West Java province on Monday. The epicenter of the quake was near the town of Cianjur in mountainous West Java, about 75 kilometers southeast of the capital Jakarta. The region is home to over 2.5 million people. West Java Governor Ridwan Kamil said on Instagram that 162 people had been killed and 326 were injured. Rescuers are searching for survivors trapped under the rubble amid a series of aftershocks.
Top story this morning, the death toll from a 5.6 magnitude earthquake that jolted Indonesia's mainland of Java has risen.
Indonesia Disaster Mitigation Agency, BNPB, said more than 2,200 houses had been damaged and more than 5,300 people had been displaced. Ridwan put that number at 13,000 and said that they would be spread out at various evacuation centers across Cianjur. Local authorities said that power outages were disrupting communications while landslides were blocking evacuations in some area. Ridwan said 88 aftershocks were recorded, while weather agency BMKG warned of more landslides in the event of heavy rain.
On Sunday, November 20th, at the American Music Awards, superstar singer-songwriter Taylor Swift won all 6 trophies she was contending for, including the night's top prize, Artist of the Year. The new AMA accolades lifted Swift's lifetime total to 40, breaking her own record for most wins at the world's largest fan-voted awards ceremony. The anti-hero singer, wearing a sparkling gold jumpsuit, said fan support in recent years had encouraged her to write more music, which made her happier.
Taylor Swift, Nathan Chapman, and Taylor Swift.
Featured artist, Colby Calais.
The 32-year-old has released 4 original albums and 2 re-recordings in the past 3 years, more than her entire output of the previous decade. Songs from her most recent album, Midnight, took all top 10 spots on the Billboard singles chart after its October debut. Other honors for Swift on Sunday included Favorite Pop Album, Country Album, and video for her re-recording of 2012 record, Red. The singer has been remaking albums from her past because of a dispute with a former record label.
The BBC reported that while talking to reporters ahead of Monday's game against England at the World Cup in Qatar, the 32-year-old captain of Iran's soccer team, Ihsan Hajsafi, said that his team should support those who have died. He said, "We have to accept that the conditions in our country are not right and our people are not happy." The defender Hajsafi said at the start of the news conference, "Before anything else, I would like to express my condolences to all of the bereaved families in Iran."
Since I was a kid, I was always dreaming to play for my national team.
The team captain said, "They should know that we are with them. We support them and we sympathize with them." Harsafi said, "We cannot deny the conditions. The conditions in my country are not good, and the players know it also. We are here, but it does not mean that we should not be their voice, or we must not respect them. Whatever we have is from them. We have to fight, we have to perform the best we can and score goals, and present the brave people of Iran with the results. I hope that the conditions change to the expectation of the people."
I always needed time on my own. I never thought I'd be here.
I take your blessings with your heartaches too. It's so easy and so wonderful to know it's you.
学习，一切从今天开始。FUNDAY 英语。
Singapore is the only place in the world that permits the commercial sale of cultivated protein, also known as lab-grown meat, cultured meat, or cell-based meat. As climate change threatens global marine ecosystems, Singapore is also leading a charge to allow, regulate, and ultimately normalize the commercial sale of cultivated seafood. According to GFI Asia Pacific, funding for cultivated seafood companies hit $115 million in 2021, double the level of funding cultivated seafood received in 2020.
According to Bloomberg, the sector's startup includes Singapore-based Shank Meats with shrimp and lobster, Germany's Blue Seafood with salmon, trout, and carp, and Blue Lanu in the US with tuna. Then there's Avant Meat, a Hong Kong startup that spent 5 years perfecting the cultivated version of a seafood delicacy few in the West have heard of. Singapore has pledged to produce 30% of its food locally by 2030, versus less than 10% now, which makes cell-based meat an appealing option.
The chair of the Working Group on Crypto Assets at the Financial Stability Board, Stephen Major, said last week recent market turmoil has given FSB all the more reason to develop a globally consistent regulatory framework. He noted rapid growth of crypto markets in the presence of structural vulnerabilities and incomplete regulations and supervision means that they will soon reach a point where they represent a threat to the stability of the global financial system.
The Financial Stability Board, FSB, is an international body that monitors and recommends standards for the global financial system, and is made up of major economies and institutions like the International Monetary Fund. Following the collapse of multi-billion-dollar cryptocurrency exchange, FTX, last week, FSB was already looking to set up global standards for regulating crypto. Manager said, "The widespread fraud and malicious behavior should also be on regulators' agendas."
The New York Post reported that inflation is forcing peckish Big Apple shoppers to wing it on Thanksgiving, with some telling the New York Post they will be gobbling chicken because turkey is just too expensive. The New York Post found at Key Food in the East Village a 16-pound butter bowl was running $1.99 a pound, while cooked chicken that usually have on sale for $5 or $7 a whole chicken. According to the New York Post, the price of 16-pound turkey surged 21% year over year in November to $23.99 for a whole turkey.
The media said that according to the annual American Farm Bureau Federation survey, a holiday spread of 12 items serving 10 people is estimated to run a whopping $64.05 this year, a 20% spike from $53.31 just last year. Frozen turkey included in the survey cost $1.81 per pound in mid to late October, a 21% jump from last year, in part due to a smaller flock this year and more expensive feed costs. Other prices surged, including cub stuffing, now $3.88 for a 14-ounce box versus $2.29 last year, while a packing of 2 pie shells shot up 77 cents to $3.68.
A study by price comparison service provider in the UK, Uswitch, showed as metaverse concepts evolve into a part of daily life, some countries are standing out, exhibiting readiness to embrace the new technology. Notably, the Netherlands ranks as the most metaverse-ready country globally, with an overall metaverse readiness score of 7.74 out of 10. Switzerland ranks second with a score of 7.61, followed by Lithuania at 7.39, while Malta ranks fourth at 7.31 and France fifth at 6.96, respectively.
The
According to Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook will likely transition from a social media company to a metaverse company within the next 5 to 10 years.
According to the study, the United Kingdom is the 7th metaverse-ready country with a score of 6.77, while the United States lies in the 12th spot at 6.32. Uswitch said the leading country in metaverse adoption have recorded high scores in elements such as fixed broadband speeds, internet prices, the number of blockchain financial startups, and the cost of high technology exports. Based on the individual grading metrics, the United States have the highest internet speed at 167.37 Mbps.
FUNDAY News will help you sharpen your English skills and keep you informed about international current events. If you want to know more about our other programs and keep learning about the world's most important topics in English, please click the link in the description below to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Jolie, your host. I'll see you next time.